You may have heard the term SDI, or Specially Designed Instruction, and wondered, what does it mean? Why is it important? How does it apply to my student? For students with disabilities, Specially Designed Instruction, or SDI, is made up of unique supports and services that are included within the Individualized Education Program, or IEP, to enable them to access and make progress in general education and participate in extracurricular activities with their peers. SDI is collaboratively developed, implemented, and evaluated by special educators, general educators, and related service providers, and families play an important role in all stages of this collaborative process. Families have knowledge of the student. General and special educators have knowledge of academic and functional skills. During the IEP meeting, the team uses data and information from all team members about individual student needs to determine skills upon which to focus IEP goals and objectives, and the unique supports and services that will be put in place. They also determine how progress will be evaluated and how you will be able to tell if SDI is being implemented as developed. SDI includes all parts of what you see on your student's IEP. It is meant to help students with disabilities make progress and is the key to narrowing the gap between their current performance and grade level standards. SDI paves the way for your student to realize access with outcomes, equity with meaningful participation, and progress with acceleration. In order to better understand SDI, it is helpful to know what it is and what it is not. SDI is a service only provided to students with IEPs, provided in addition to core general instruction, specific to each student based on how their disability impacts their learning. Instruction that allows a student to make progress according to current grade level standards. Provided in order to narrow the gap between the student's performance and grade level standards. SDI is uniquely designed to promote progress on IEP goals and in general education. SDI is not for all students. A place a student goes. In place of general instruction. What a student does. A list of services and supports. Universal Design for Learning, UDL, or differentiated instruction. You may be wondering, how does my child's team develop, implement, and evaluate specially designed instruction? In the next section, we will explore how the IEP team, including the family, develops SDI, implements it, and evaluates its effectiveness. This cycle begins with the IEP process and document. Then, the collaborative team of general educators, shown here in green with a dashed border, and special educators, shown here in blue with no border, develop standards-aligned IEPs within an integrated tiered system of supports for all students in general education. The same team implements instruction and intervention for all students, and SDI for students with disabilities. Finally, the team evaluates the impact of SDI. In general education, teacher implementation is evaluated along with student progress. In special education, teacher implementation and student progress are evaluated along with the extent to which the student is narrowing the gap. Let's start with co-development. The team starts by understanding the needs of the student, including the impact of the disability paired with the grade and age level expectations to determine the student's present levels of academic and functional performance, or PLAAFP. A student's present levels are determined by a combination of data sources and may include curriculum-based assessments, universal screenings results, progress monitoring, current work samples, frequency data, level of prompting, and family input. After the IEP team uses data to determine the student's present levels of academic and functional performance, it is time to write goals and objectives to best meet the needs of the student to reduce or close the achievement gap. The development of annual goals and objectives guide teachers and other service providers on how best to deliver instruction in order to give the student the best possible access to the general education curriculum. Annual goals and objectives should be aligned to grade level standards. Additional goals and objectives may be aligned to below grade level skills or non-academic functional skills. IEP goals and objectives contain 5 components that make them both measurable and easily understood by those who implement them. These components are conditions, behavior, criteria, measurement, and time frame. From there, the team selects individualized supports and services that will make up the student's SDI. This includes evidence-based instruction and intervention, supplementary aids and services, accommodations, program modifications, and the training needs of staff and families. The team then clearly defines what supports will look like in different contexts, academic and extracurricular. Next comes collaborative implementation. After development, the team collaboratively implements the student's SDI within the tiered system of the school that supports all students. This tiered system includes social, emotional, behavioral, and academic components. The collaborative team plans for the student's SDI, implements it, assesses for impact, and makes adjustments as needed on a day-to-day basis. And finally, there is collaborative evaluation. The team collaboratively evaluates SDI and determines how the SDI is impacting the student's performance by collecting various types of data to answer the question, is the student making progress? If the student is making progress, the team continues implementation, thinking about ways to accelerate progress. If the answer is no, the team considers how to make adjustments that will accelerate progress. We will now show you an example of how this process works in the classroom. In this example, a student will receive SDI to address his writing needs. During the IEP team meeting, the present levels indicate that the student is currently able to write a simple sentence of 4 words with correct beginning capitalization and ending punctuation. However, the sentences are grammatically incorrect on 4 out of 10 writing samples. Based on the student's present levels of academic and functional performance, the team develops an IEP goal containing the 5 components: conditions, behavior, criteria, method of measurement, and time frame. When given a story starter, the student writes a 3-sentence paragraph that demonstrates correct sentence structure and grammar for 8 out of 10 documented writing samples over the course of 4 consecutive weeks by the end of the IEP period. The teacher then implements specially designed instruction. In a small group within the general education classroom, the teacher gives direct instruction in subject-verb agreement through the use of individualized lists of irregular verbs, as well as daily repeated and corrective practices. As the instructional team implements SDI, they regularly review progress and make decisions about how the student's SDI can be implemented to continue accelerating the student's progress. In developing an IEP, the family is a collaborative part of the team. They know their child best. They come with academic history, performance trends over time, learning characteristics, and the impact of the disability. It is important to remember that specially designed instruction may not look the same for every student. It is created to suit each student's individual needs. SDI should be used across all settings and with fidelity. When teachers implement fidelity, it is copied or reproduced with exactness across all classes. It is an essential ingredient for teaching and learning and is the driving force behind moving students with disabilities forward. It's what makes special education special. If you have questions about specially designed instruction, please contact the Maryland State Department of Education, Division of Early Intervention and Special Education Services, 410-767-0238, www.marylandlearninglinks.org. MSDE partners with Maryland's Parent Training Information Center. The Parents' Place of Maryland. 800-394-5694. www.ppmd.org.